Oh Lord, they coming. These storms will affect millions. But are they really going to be that bad? Maybe. We're going to get into that, as well as who the storms could hit and when, and what's the weather going to be like for the rest of us. I've got all that and more in today's forecast, starting now. Oh yeah, that storm is cooking. All right, guys, starting off on the visible satellite here, and you'll notice from the last video, remember we had that big low pressure up here in the northeast. That has now moved off the coast, and that's why all of the rain and all of the clouds along the east coast is now gone. And over top of the rest of the United States, we really don't have any super organized systems. We do have a little bit of a disturbance here down in Texas, Oklahoma, that's giving some rain and some clouds for the area, and a little bit of a boundary setting up here right along these clouds in the upper Midwest. But outside of that, we don't have a lot going on right now at all. Our West Coast brethren are once again in the sunshine and the heat, and our Florida brethren are starting to get into that summertime stormy pattern, and it makes for beautiful satellite loops like this one. You got your winds coming up from the south causing the clouds to move this way, and then you have your sea breeze. That's winds coming off the ocean pushing those clouds inland. Look at that. That is so cool. Now, in the intro, I teased about storms that are going to affect millions, and over the next couple of days, those storms won't be necessarily associated to any big storm system. What you're going to have happen is, notice how we go through the next several days. Look at all of that moisture that streams up from the Gulf right in here. These are dew points in the 60s, 70s, and close to 80 in some spots. We're going to have weak southerly winds pulling up all of that moisture into the upper United States. And whenever you have this kind of moisture, coupled with those hot summertime temperatures that we're starting to have, you can expect storms almost daily anywhere in this region. So places like Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, even into East Texas, along with the Carolinas, you guys will see storms almost, if not daily. All right, so let's go day by day, and I'm going to show you the areas that I'm concerned about for each day. And let's start with today, Thursday, June 12th. We do have this risk up here for severe weather along the plains, the northern plains this time in South Dakota and Nebraska, where we do have this really tiny slight risk. That's a 2 out of 5. And we've got a couple other areas down here in eastern Texas, Arkansas, and Louisiana, one down here in Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina, and then one here in eastern Pennsylvania. Now, I'm going to switch to the tornado outlook to show you guys. Check it out. We've only got one of those areas. This area right here that has a risk for tornadoes today. The rest, we're just talking about wind and maybe some hail. But anything in green here, guys, we could have storms all the way up into Montana, all the way down into Texas, through Florida, and even into portions of the East Coast. That's what that green is. See this green that I'm kind of drawing on? This is your daytime thunderstorm, average thunderstorms that bubble up, die down, and then another one pops to the right. But that's what that light green means. Now, here's what we can expect from a radar perspective today. And guys, I didn't even notice this complex down here in southeast Texas near Houston. Those are some big time storms. So heads up, this is a leftover MCS. This looks like it's going to hang around for at least the next several hours here before it eventually moves off the coast. So heads up from Houston all the way down to Victoria, possibly down to Corpus Christi. Flooding will likely be a huge concern down there today. Now, outside of that, if we go a little bit further to the north, we do have another area of storms. This is right where that slight risk was today. And if we check it out, let's put this in motion. We don't really have much that happens in the early portions of the day, but look at that right in there. There's that line of storms that pushes right off the Rocky Mountains and into Nebraska. That's where we have that slight risk. Once again, not really talking about any big time tornado threat at all. We could have storms all the way down into Denver, right along the Rocky Mountains. That's pretty normal for this time of year. If we zoom out here and go to the southeast, check this out. We've got general thunderstorms that bubble up all along the southeast. Let's put this in motion here. Notice how these storms bubble up, they die. Another one bubbles up to the left and the right. We could also have a line of storms that pushes through Arkansas. That's where we have that 1 out of 5 risk, the marginal for today. And that's where we could get a tornado or two in that arcing line of storms right in there. And if we look at Florida, once again, this is your average daytime thunderstorms that bubble up from the sea breeze. We'll have the winds coming up from the south here. The sea breeze will be pushing in. Where those two winds intersect, that's where the storms will pop, and that's where you get your big time storms. But then Ohio, Northeast, you should be pretty good. Still nothing in Ohio. Oh, please. Stop what you're doing right now. Pick up your mouse in your hand just like this, throw it in the air, grab it again, hit the subscribe button, and mash the like button. And leave a comment below. Look, someone's leaving a comment. This video is so cool. Wow. Back to you, Stormcat. All right, what about Friday? This is Friday, June 13th, and most of the country looks okay, although this will be general thunderstorms, just like we had today across the eastern half of the country with all that moisture surging from the north. We'll also have moisture that surges right around and it'll wrap all the way back up into Montana. And that's where we have this slight risk right in here. That's the yellow. That is a 2 out of 5 risk. We'll have a little bit of a weak low pressure system and a boundary starts to set up right through there. That's where storms will fire during the day and into the evening on Friday. And if we take a look at our tornado risk, we're going to have to zoom in big time here. We have this little 2% just to the west of North Platte in Nebraska that doesn't include Scotts Bluff as these storms fire along the Rockies and then push off to the north and east. But outside of that, that is our only risk for tornadoes on Friday. I could see them expanding it a little bit, but for the most part, looking pretty good. I like that. Now looking at the radar for Friday, look at this feature right in here that's spinning its way. This is a very weak low pressure system. That's what's going to cause all of our rain and storms on Friday. We likely are going to have a very rainy day anywhere in this region as that weak low spins these storms up, pulls this moisture off the Gulf into the United States. And as it does so, we're going to have rain on the north side. Let's zoom in here in Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois. We're going to have general shower and storm action to the south and the southeast during the day and afternoon into the evening hours on Friday. And watch as this thing just spins its way right into the Ohio Valley, pulls its way there. That's where we're going to have a couple of storm complexes going into Friday night. So a wet, soggy, stormy day is ahead of us for pretty much everyone east of Missouri and Arkansas. East of this line, you're most likely going to see some form of rain or storms, or you're going to hear some rumbles of thunder in the distance. Anyone with TGIF plans? Heads up. But if we go back out to the west, here is that slight risk that we have for tomorrow. These storm complexes that fire right along that boundary. We've got this one, we've got this one, and we've got this one. That's where we have that slight risk, and that's where we have the greatest chance for severe storms on Friday. I think the rest of these storms off to the east are going to be your average daytime thunderstorms. Still could pack a punch, but these ones right in here, they're going to have the greatest chance of producing strong winds and hail. And then these ones up here, these are going to have the greatest chance, albeit a low one, a 2% chance of producing a tornado. Our West Coast brethren, you're going to stay dry like you normally do. I really don't know why I'm whispering so much. Probably all those noise complaints I'm getting. All right, what about Saturday? This is Saturday, June 14th, and pretty much the same thing, guys. We're stuck in that summertime same pattern over and over and over again. Got a general thunderstorm risk pretty much everywhere east of the Rockies except for here in the Northeast. And then we've got this marginal risk, which I bet they'll probably upgrade this to a slight eventually. But we've got this marginal risk right along the Rocky Mountains in almost an identical area as Friday. It might have a 2% risk for tornadoes that gets introduced, maybe a 5%. We're not talking about any widespread tornado outbreaks by any means. Yes. And if we take a look at the NAM, you can see the storm complexes fire Saturday evening into Sunday night. Right here, right in this area, we are going to have general showers and storms ongoing from that leftover weak low pressure that'll be spinning its way right in here. So Saturday, if you got any weekend plans right in this region and then right in this region, heads up, you're probably going to get wet. You're probably going to have some sort of storm action, especially from Ohio, Illinois, Indiana, all the way down to Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, along the East Coast, Carolinas. How many states can I mention? Asia, Africa, North and South America. Oh, what are the other continents? Oh no. All right, so what about beyond Friday? What's our weather pattern going to look like and how will things change? I think if we start at the beginning of the period here, this is on Friday. This is that low pressure. This is that upper level low that's spinning its way. That will bowl its way into the eastern United States, into Ohio, into Pennsylvania. And it'll be a big time rain producer. But as we get into Saturday, that feature starts to slide off the coast and is replaced by this big ridge of high pressure out west that's funneling air around like that. And that should cause a brief lull in the activity on Saturday and Sunday. Anything under that ridge is going to get very warm this weekend, so warm temperatures are on the way. Warm temperatures, they're already here. But what about our severe weather? Will there be any widespread severe weather that returns next week? I think the answer is maybe, especially for our northern plains brethren in this region. As you'll notice, the upper level pattern, the 500 millibar pattern, we start to get some jet streak features that move right over top of there. And as those upper level winds and those disturbances move over top of the same area, they are just going to keep pumping right through the northern plains. And that should give us a risk on Monday. That should give us a risk on, especially on Tuesday. Look at this. We'll likely be talking about storms that'll form up here and move right through there. Could be some big time bowing segments. Even continuing into Wednesday, notice we got northwest flow again. We could have severe weather over here in this region. We could be looking at some big time storm Wednesday into Thursday as a ring of fire pattern sets up. That's when you get a high pressure down here. You get winds that ride right along this region, and you also get storms that'll form in this region, and then they'll follow the winds all the way down. And if you have warm, very moist air coming up from the Gulf, that can be a recipe for some mega storm complexes. Our brethren in Montana, Wyoming, the Dakotas, Nebraska, into Wisconsin, Iowa, even into Illinois, you guys will likely see a return to severe weather starting Monday of next week. Now, with all of these storms that'll fall, look at all the rain that's going to fall. We're going to have several inches of rain that fall down here in Texas, Arkansas. A lot of that will actually be today. And we'll also have some more rain that falls in the upper Midwest. And you guys are only getting started. We'll have a couple of inches that fall in the next couple of days. And then look at this. Over pretty much the entire eastern half of the United States, some big time rain's going to fall with all of those storms that we talked about earlier in the video. You're going to need your umbrellas. Look, I've got mine right here. Oh my goodness. Wow. The rain is falling. Luckily, I have my umbrella. Wow, it's so small. I lost it. Oh, it's falling on my head. I need to get underneath of it. Where am I holding it? All right, all of our brethren along the Atlantic or the Gulf Coast, great news. We've got zero hurricane activity expected during the next 7 days. So I know hurricane season has started. We've got nothing to worry about so far. Very nice. This cat is loving that. Also, I don't know if you guys heard, but yesterday was a little bit of a sad day. We had Gary England pass away. He is an absolute legend. He was the meteorologist in Twister. He was a meteorologist in Oklahoma City for many years. And we had the chance to meet him for our 100th episode. He was nice enough to come out to the bar we were at in Oklahoma City, meet us, be on the podcast. He's a great dude, and it is very sad to hear. So please be praying for him and his family. Father, I pray for Gary England, his family. Please help his soul rest in peace, and please show your infinite and abundant love to his family right now. On a lighter note, I'm cooked. Storm Chaser Nick made this meme, and when he does this to you, there's nowhere you can go. You're absolutely chalked. It's not my face. Lastly, guys, this is our members. Looks like we're having some people fall off. If you want to support us, you want to support what we do on the channel, make sure to sign up to be a member. It's only either $5 a month for Cat 1, $15 a month for Cat 2. You get some awesome benefits like emotes. You even get a merch discount to be used on the Stormfrontfreaks store at the weather store, and so much more. So please, if you do like what we do here, support us by becoming a member today. Also, guys, we have made huge strides this year. We're almost at 10,000 subscribers. So help us out. Send this channel to everyone you know. We can't do it without you. All right, guys. Well, that's all I got for you today. Thanks for joining me. Have a wonderful Thursday. Find someone. Tell them you love them. Tell them you care about them. Do it right now. Today. This is Stormcat 5, and I'll see you on the next one.